Hold on, I'm not live.
I'm living.
That
Hold
thing was
on.
on all
All
night.
right.
You're dead?
Are we rolling?
I'm fine.
All right, so here we are.
Killing the jet.
Second night
I'm
of a
good.
Tour Coach podcast. Second experiment going live on YouTube. But tonight, this is going to be special. Second day of our elite junior camp, and we've got an elite cast here. Once again, Will McFadden to my left, if you're watching on TV, like in your room or something. And Dr. Greg Carton right here leaning in with his Boston hat, second different hat of the night, and last night. And then Luke Guthrie, who was the star of last night's episode and probably the star today. Mark Hackett, Director of Instruction at Old Palm, one of our dear friends, and he's just so kind to let me hang out here. And Wayne Flint, we just call him the Godfather. Right? Wayno the Drano, or the Lamb, as a lot of people know him. And then,
hey, buddy.
my main man here, Coop, Donald Coop Cooper, longtime caddy, major winner, hanging out with us. And so, Coop, let's just go ahead and start with you.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about, we had 12 good juniors out there today, really good juniors. We got some questions. I've got some stuff I'm going to ask you from last night's pod with Guthrie, but I want to first get your impression of the juniors and the instruction and what you thought folks did well and what they didn't do well.
Early on today, I was a little skeptical, mainly because I wasn't really in order, but because I was a day late, and I'm usually not late. But I think everybody that was here wanted to learn. They're here to learn. They're serious about it. But I think they need, like, when we do our job is so important to keep their attention and keep them involved with, what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Because if I was their age and wasn't interested, I'd be like, I can do this on my own. You may think that way, but this right here, if they soak in what we teach them, can make life easy and the game much easier.
Guthrie, I'm going to shift this to you. I said this yesterday, and I said this today to you guys. I said to Wayne driving around. When I was a kid, I remember being 15, 16, 17, like the opportunity to hang out. I mean, if I'd had a mental coach, I'd be down to 1 or 2 wives instead of 4.
Right.
But like to have mental coaches, to have some of the best teachers in the game, like Hack, who's been around Ray Floyd, Wayne, who's taught great players, Duffer, and all these guys, like, and then to go play with you guys, like, I would have been over the moon. I really would have.
Well, it just wouldn't have happened. Those chances didn't happen.
No. But think about it from your perspective. You've told me a little bit before, you growing up in Illinois, like, that's a huge deal. And I said that we were talking about Ethan McGregor today. And I said, like, I've been so impressed with how much better his golf swing. Hack's seen him a bunch down here. Wayne has too. Like, the one thing I think he misses is the opportunity and the ability to be around good players all the time. Just where he is. They went to super nice place. Love going there. Man, that wing joint down the street's phenomenal. But like, as far as
a shout out,
Patches, and if they would like to sponsor us, we'll come do one of these there too. But with some epic westerns. But anyways, talk a little bit about what you see versus what you had when you were a kid, and how do you think students that come to this could benefit more from you, benefit more than maybe some of them are, from your perspective of being a guy who at one point was a top 60 player and played the tour?
Yeah, obviously, it goes really without saying, I would have loved to go to a camp like this. Like, I grew up in Illinois, corn and bean fields. I just played golf and played with my buddies and went to junior tournaments and see how good I could get.
Did a lot of work on your own.
Yeah, just a lot of work on my own with my buddies, and I was quite a bit better than them. Not to sound like that, but
that sounded a little brave.
It sounded bad.
Totally.
I know, but like,
hey, it's
called confidence.
The truth.
It's hard to learn when you're the best guy out there.
I've just got to get my confidence back. Remember that?
Yeah, but like when I went to college, or really when I played AJGA my junior year in high school. That was my first time being like, all right, let's see how good I am. Let's see what real good golf looks
playing
like.
with them now.
well, you mentioned Ethan. He's playing with really good juniors. He's playing with Will and I. He's seeing what good golf looks like right now.
And now it
And how old
surrounds
is
him.
he? He's
16.
16. Like, yeah, he's ahead of the curve on that. And like, not only on the side of just getting the instruction, getting the learning, being able to vocalize, you can see him getting a little more confident today. He asked a little more questions to me, at least, and a few of the other kids as well. And I know myself at that age, I would have been so quiet, but even within that, I would have been soaking up so much information. And it's hard to say how invaluable that is, and it's motivating. You see where you need to go. Like, let's go get to work. Let's do this. Let's see the steps start happening, and have an end goal. In anything you do in life is important. See where you're trying to go.
Let's take a 3-second pause real quick because I'm going to restart this part of it because it was giving me an error message, which I think we're still okay. We're still recording on there. I just want to see what it says.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hand it over
For
to
sure.
Dr. Greg here. So, Greg,
Yes.
from a development mental perspective, this thing's still spinning. We're totally screwed up. What do you think students could do to get more out of learning versus what you see students do when they come to learn?
What?
It kicked in.
Yeah.
It's there.
I think
My nose is tingling.
Here it goes.
try that one time. I think, and I've been doing these for a long time with you. Oh, are we on that?
No, you keep going.
Here we're going.
She's rolling.
I think most of the kids come back to these because they have so much fun here, but they don't realize that they're also getting better, right? Like, they come because it's fun, and they get so much out of it in terms of getting better as well. But I think that's the most important piece, and I think that's why these things have been so successful, is that we've created this community here where these kids come, have a great time. They meet kids from all over the country they would never have experience playing with before, and they learn a lot from guys that have played on tour and are playing professional, teachers that have worked with guys that have played professional. But I think they come here but their first objective is they want to have a good time, and we create that environment here. And that's so important for kids, especially when they're playing at a high level of golf in high school or before that. Before golf gets really hard.
But for adults too, because a lot of adults listen to this, how important is having fun and enjoying it?
It's the most important part, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even know, but like, you could see how much joy you get out of playing golf now, right? I've been around you a little bit, and not that you didn't enjoy it before, but like, you could tell, like, you're excited about getting out there and playing. You're playing with these kids, and you're just having a great time out there, and you're playing great.
And he's soaking it in too.
Yeah,
it's soaking in now.
It's
when your mind isn't so much about learning, and you're struggling, it doesn't sink in. It's like, I'll try this now, and then and you're done with it. But I think
I have high hopes for you now because you can see how much you're enjoying what you're doing. Right?
That's definitely fair. Like, having way more fun out there. So much more.
A lot of the work I've been doing with guys, it's not so much about let's get these guys to play better. It's let's help these guys find ways to enjoy the game again.
Right.
And then they play better
because
they're having
play
fun.
Monopoly if you sucked at it.
Yeah, we're talking about
time. No.
Or can you imagine go to bed at night thinking, man, I can't. I'm so nervous about getting up tomorrow to play Monopoly.
Right.
Coop, I'm going to throw this to Coop. We'll give him the mic here. You were out on tour a long time.
Yes, sir.
Who were the people that, when you caddied against, we won't, right, that you thought played better than they might have been just because their attitude was good?
I'll talk about this today.
First one that comes to my mind is Maldonado.
Unbelievable,
right?
Today.
Maldonado. So positive. Just never.
There's nobody better.
Nothing comes out of his mouth. No mannerisms of negativity.
He's
it's
loving it.
All positive. And it's everything he says is positive. And it's like, dang, that wasn't good. Instead of, I suck. I need to do, it's just That's the one.
Really?
Yes. I mean, and going way back, I could probably bring up
Yeah,
some
bring
more.
up a couple.
Well, I think that I don't know about these names.
Corey Pavin.
No, you know, Corey, his game was there. He didn't really have to work on it. He was there. But I mean, there's so much to learn. Back then, there wasn't nothing to learn. What did Corey need to learn? Did he need to hit driver?
No, but those guys just went out and played.
They played, and now I think you learn about golf more than back then. There wasn't learning. You learn how to drink. I mean, really and truly, it's different, man. It's a different game.
Let me
Totally.
ask, do you like the game more now or then?
I think now it's more competitive. I
It's
like
harder
it
now.
more now. If I would like for the competition,
Yeah.
I liked it more back then when I wasn't in the business, just watching because how cool the guys were. And, you know, who smokes cigarettes now? In the golf
I was
course?
just about to say
No
that.
one. No, it was like a different game.
But those guys back then were having a good time.
Right. And that's what I think these camps bring is having a good time where you learn whether you try to or not. Leave here with something good because it's fun.
We've talked about that forever. Everyone leaves these camps. That was the greatest. Like Big Zoo today was saying.
Big Zoo wanted to go to dinner with us so
What a
bad.
thrill.
today.
He was saying all day how
What a
excited he
thrill.
was just to be here, being around all these guys and having a great time. He didn't realize he's getting better. It didn't matter.
I told him he was Scottish.
Let me
He
tell
thought
you.
he was playing with Scottish. Just kidding.
Oh my God. But I mean, for
That's
real.
why I kept saying,
Right?
Luke,
Like that
do
kid was
that
having
right
the greatest
foot
time
thing.
out there.
I remember the first day that he came in here was that. And you gave him the lesson in the
You're
afternoon.
right. You're exactly right.
Exactly.
It is night and day. And this hadn't been but what, a couple months?
3-4 months.
He's going to be a freshman, too.
And the
He is
kids-
a
It's
big boy.
amazing.
going into the ninth
Freshman,
grade.
he's an 8th grader.
Yeah.
I know,
it's
but-
pretty
Yeah.
impressive. Really impressive.
But he was so, not because he was getting better, but he was having the greatest time.
And he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And what he said early, you know, it might not be good. That didn't feel really good, but I'm sticking with what Tony told me.
Yeah.
And you brought up, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah,
to
stick
stick to
with
it. You can't give it a day. I mean, you got to give it in my opinion, a month.
Well, I'm hand this to Wayne. This is a great
Yeah,
Wayne
Mike.
and Hat question right here, both of them. I think the most frustrating people, the old timers. I'm younger than the only people I'm
You're
younger
younger
than
than
at this
no.
table.
Me and you
But
had
you
I'm the
guys have been
oldest.
around, like all the golf schools, the digest schools y'all did, all the great teachers been around. The most frustrating situations and the hardest people to help get better to me are the ones that they try something once or twice and they say, I can't do that, I won't do that, or that doesn't work, or that doesn't feel good. What do you think about that? And tell us how you deal with it. I know how you deal with it, but I want the people to say
Yeah.
our people.
well, I mean, it happened. I mean, that happens. I mean, the minute anybody
Today.
feels uncomfortable, people's desire for comfort is so strong that the second they feel uncomfortable, they say this clearly can't
I
be
got to get out of this.
can't be right. I got to get out of here, and get back to what I feel normal or feel comfortable doing.
Which is
And
sucking.
but that doesn't really mean that's right. I mean, sometimes you have to work at something more than 2 or 3 or 4 swings, and maybe give it a little bit of time to learn to make that comfortable and make that something that you can clearly do. When you want to pull it up and do
build off
it.
of
It just takes time, and our job as teachers is to try to be patient and convince them that it does take a little bit of work and a little bit of energy and patience on their part. I mean, students don't really want to be patient. They want to buy it. They want to pay their money and they want to have
That's the
their golf swing.
gratification.
Right.
Yeah,
but
they
that's
want
where I think Hack being around him teaching has been good because I get a little wishy washy sometimes. I mean, right, I admit it. I'm like sometimes
With
I'm like,
results from students or
no, just wishy washy,
You got
like
it.
when they start that bitching and complaining,
Right.
right? And I'll right. And where it's like watching Hack. I think I've gotten a little better being around teaching him because when a student, like sometimes where I might be a little wishy washy and give in, I've watched Hack be like, suck it up,
Right.
right?
This is what
Like,
you got to
hey,
But the thing,
but it's true.
well, it's a vanity thing too. They don't want to be embarrassed because they're going to hit it worse at first.
do. Right.
But then you have to give the confidence and get have some success, like slowing down and different ways of saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
People don't like to go slow.
No,
They want to go full
that's the
blast.
biggest thing.
Oh, it's
from
hard
that.
to make them.
They don't want to do that, because again, that's uncomfortable. They want to go full speed, swing full tilt, and they want it to work. Just a lot of people just think because they conceptually understand something that they should be able to do it, but that's so
I
far
think
from
people assume that if you're trying to do something, that you do it.
right.
I think that's the big thing. I think as humans, and this is probably a Doc question, but I think our egos make us think if we're trying to do something, especially these people coming to see us, they're paying money. They think we ask them to do something and they do it. They try to do it. They assume they did.
They've done
Right. Well, I mean, well, no, you
No.
Right.
You half-assed it.
Yeah.
It
You
just
moved a
takes-
degree.
Right.
Well, if you go to the
Where's
doctor,
Cordy when you need him?
right.
I mean, real dedication is me through COVID with the videos. That's a dedicated student, isn't it?
Let's talk about you during
Sending
COVID.
videos every day.
I'm gonna put those up on
from
you.
the
I'm
cow
gonna
pasture.
find them.
and got better.
Coop.
So much
I
better.
mean, Coop as a golfer?
Yes.
Coop is a golfer.
I just made up in my mind that I was going to hit the ball better. Had nothing else to do. Set up a net over my cow pasture, and every day I'd hit balls and send it to Tony. But I had to set up my camera and then go to the shot. It was just hilarious.
I'm gonna be honest. The angle was not always ideal.
I was shirtless in it.
Sometimes it's
I mean,
audio.
I'm gonna tell you, so it was COVID. We were a little starved for entertainment, right?
He kind of
So-
reminded
That
me
sounds
of you.
like it's good.
Yeah, so I'm
as
sitting-
you get.
We'll get to that. I'm sitting there one night on the porch. There was, I don't know, there's probably only no more than 4 neighbors over there because we were all abiding by the policy. And Bobby Kennedy wouldn't let us have done that. I'm just gonna say that right
That's
now.
back office, isn't it?
But yeah, but
That's the
You
guy.
can't
but-
get political on
but-
the podcast.
I'm not political at all. Where was I going?
COVID.
COVID. So I got the call.
Our
I got the
neighbors.
call from the video,
I want to get better.
and because you wanted to get better.
Right.
I remember sitting there with like 5 or 6 people, and this video pops up, and I open it, and it's like opening the movie The Deer Hunter. I swear to
I'm
God,
in the woods.
it's like I see all this brown grass,
Yeah.
dark trees,
And I mean,
and I see a guy coming out with no sleeves on, a camo hat, and a golf
He
club
thought I was
like
about to
that.
come out and shoot somebody.
And I was like, "The fuck are you doing here? Who is this?" And then all of a sudden, I see the swing, and I know his
That's
swing.
Coop's.
I can
Because
remember the first
he get-
thing he told me.
Coop gets a little too shifty, and then
Yep.
the face gets open. Said, "What did I tell you?"
The first thing is, you have got to stay behind the golf ball. I was in front of it.
You got to get behind
Got
it.
to stay behind it. So I worked on that. Let me tell you, long story short, in 5 weeks, I guarantee you my game was 5 shots better, without a doubt.
5 shots?
I played every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at Mount Vintage in the dog fight. And my game got to where I was good. You know why? I did what you told me to.
I mean,
Felt like shit. Horrible. I felt retarded doing it. But you know what?
we're live.
Day to day. I felt uncomfortable. It got better. It really, real good. I mean, it left quick. But yeah, it did get better. And it made me believe in your skills.
I love hearing this. So, wait, every now and then when I bring on, give me one highlight of my coaching career
Oh,
together.
Pebble Beach. Can't hook it. Without a doubt.
I think that was Tampa.
No, it was Pebble Beach.
Was it?
Yeah. Missed the cut and was out there in
Not
terrible
getting-
weather.
Not getting ice cream at Wingfoot.
Can't hook it. Well, hit that club. Hook. Hit that club. Hook. Ever thought maybe it's a club? I mean, genius. I mean, really and truly. It's not always the players, equipment can make a ball not go well. But that was just because I think all 3 of us were struggling as far as, coming up with something. I had nothing. He had nothing, and you came up with something, and it worked.
Yeah, we did all right. We had fun together.
Absolutely.
That was a heck of a trip. I brought my
All
daughter
of
out to
them,
Pebble
all
Beach
of them.
that week.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a good trip.
That was the 2 trips with you that
Can I
I
say hello to her?
say hello, Abby.
Hey, Abby, how you doing? She's so sweet.
So the 3 trips. This is if you can follow the roadmap of this podcast and know where we're going, you're on LSD.
Yeah.
So the 3 trips that I remember most with you are, I don't know why I said 3. 2
2, yeah.
are Pebble and when we went to Northern Ireland together.
Yeah, that was.
And I'll tell you what else was great though was Wingfoot
At
during
Wingfoot,
COVID with Greg, and we got
and
that
those
ice
aren't
cream.
bad tournaments to be at either, are they?
We had
Wingfoot,
to
Open
wear
Championship.
masks and we got the ice cream.
Really good time.
And I remember walking to that wine store trying to buy some wine,
Vodka.
and I said, "Oh, I left my mask back there." And this guy goes, "I don't give a shit, man.
Right,
You don't
he
buy
did.
wine."
Yeah,
You remember that?
I remember that. It's just those times were, looking back, they were really great.
Fun, just
You
being
know,
around you
in
guys.
such a bad situation.
Yeah, we
were in the doldrums, but we made the best of it.
Colby was there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Colby. Shout out to K Wayne.
K Wayne, what's up, dog?
Let's hand McFadden the mic.
Give it to him.
We hadn't let Will talk, and he seems like he's probably
Smarter than
dying to
us and
say
more
something.
knowledgeable.
So. Will,
Hey.
I had a good question for you. Talk to me about what have you, when you went into today, this is being totally heartfelt, honest. Like, I want you, when you went into today and you paid attention to Luke or you talking to Coop, what were you trying to get out of it? What information were you trying to get out that would help you, if any? Or were you just making small talk with me?
Well,
No, it was not.
it's always fun, but yeah, I was excited to go out there and do the short game out there with Luke and Dan, being able to just hit shots all around those greens out there and really pick Luke's brain and even some of the kids' brains and how they hit the shots and what kind of some of their thought processes were. And you know, I'm always trying to pick a piece of information from anybody, and so that was all I was doing today, just trying to soak it all in and figure out what piece of information I could take from anybody.
You've been to a lot of these, but you still learn every time.
That's right.
Something.
Absolutely.
He's
Right.
been in more of these than Tony has.
Right. I mean,
Mentally. Caroline, come on over here.
Come on, Caroline.
Caroline, sweet
Caroline,
Caroline.
come on. Let's get the. I want to see what she
Here,
we go.
you can sit
There you
here.
go, right here.
This is her
First
first
one of our students.
First student for her. It's actually our first student. We've not
Mhm.
taught anybody for the last 12 years. You're actually the first one we think we helped.
Are
But
you gonna stay?
so you walked into this not knowing any of us other than Coop, which I'll be honest, that's a good icebreaker.
That's all you need to know.
Right? You probably heard a little of the build up. First of all, how did it compare to what you thought it was going to be? And was anything way crazy or different than you thought it'd be? I'll hang up and listen.
Well, yeah, Coop didn't really give me an insider on really anybody.
You
I mean,
can't even do that.
but I really just came in with an open mind like that.
Have
I
you
needed
checked out
to.
my Hinge page? I'm just throwing that out there. I don't have one, but I might.
But I really just came in with an open mind, and already being in college, you know, like no information hurts you, and you know, just there to get better and there to learn. And there's really no better group that you can learn from than you guys. You make it fun, but you also give out plenty of advice. And the best thing that you can do is come out with an open mind.
Were we crazier than you thought you might have thought?
Like I told my dad,
Oh,
I'm
boy.
surrounded by 6 of
You
him. So
and he loved
you know,
it.
it's y'all
Yep.
might be crazy, but that might be normal to
Yeah,
me.
she's-
So-
crazy is normal to
It
her.
doesn't bother me.
She would be a little uncomfortable around normal people.
Will, come back over here. Will McFadden, legend of the junior camps.
Yes.
Caroline, you're really not a junior. I mean, you're in college,
She's
Yeah. But she's new to the camp.
new to
Hey,
the
but she
camp.
came here with
So,
a
Willie
mind
Mack,
open, ready to learn.
what do you try to get out of Coop when you're hanging around? Because I know how you are. I know you're always trying to learn. I'm just curious because I think regular golfers, people wanting to get better, could benefit from what you're trying to.
Yeah, I mean, it's somebody who's seen as many things as Coop and been around the game for so long. I love just sitting there like watching him watch other people, hear him talking about what he sees, and hearing him talk about the golf that's being played on TV too, like talking about a shot somebody's about to hit, what they're going to try to do, what's going to happen. Like you can almost Romo it and call it before it happens. He knows what the ball's about to do. So I'm just always trying to hear about the way that his brain works on the golf course, or how he knows some of the best, how their brains have worked on the golf course, and how they're trying to plot their way around. I'm just trying to figure out how to make the game easier on myself through what other guys have already figured out in the past.
Easier is
Very
the,
good.
the best word you just used there.
Right.
And
You know,
Coop,
let others
for all you've
struggle
seen-
and learn off of that.
you think that to play good golf, the secret, not, there's no secret, but you got to just make the game as easy as you can.
I think it's
To
total
make it to
dedication, and with the thought of I'm not going to make this difficult.
Right.
I'm doing this for fun. I'm going to continue to have fun, no matter what. Even when you're at the worst, you know, you got to keep a good attitude.
It's got to be a game.
Because there's going to be a worse. It's going to get bad
Right.
at some point.
Like it's always gonna be hard, and what I've
It
learned
really
from
is.
being around all these guys is like they know what they're really good at, and that's the way they attack the golf course. They're not being super conservative with it, but they're
My PayPal button just went off. I think somebody just bought a
Somebody
pivot
paid
bag.
They did, didn't they? So someone's
You
playing
guys
better
can
golf
buy a
than
pivot bag too.
Caroline, do you know what a pivot pack is? We'll hook her up tomorrow.
Yeah, we got it.
But
So what?
yeah, I think
I'll
Will.
I'll get you
I
that.
think
QR.
that's why Will is as good as he is, because the way he thinks. I mean, he likes learning, and the best way to learn is to talk with people that have been through it. Like Luke, he's been through every situation I imagine in golf. You know, at some point in time. And
right.
He's
When I was-
not matured is not the right word, because he was way mature. I mean, you were all that.
Way young.
But like as a golfer, being around you now is like it's like you're at
It's a little
peace.
more fun.
You're at peace.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
you ask for advice, and you go do it. And but it's like you're just at peace with where you are in the game. And like what you said, I think it was maybe in the car here, like you so much more fun. Like you can tell how much you're enjoying being out there. And Coop, from a caddy perspective, you like, I mean, the player that enjoys being out there's got to have a better. I mean, got to be
Plays
better.
better.
Well, Luke, at his worst, is probably better than most at their best, attitude wise. But I've seen a difference for sure. Because I think the last time I saw you before the last camp was when you were playing not great. And you
Yeah,
just didn't
just
seem
fine.
like a very happy person.
That's
I
fair.
mean-
When I was on a course, I wasn't happy. Life was great, but
Right.
yeah, that's no fun.
But you're the type of guy that, in my mind, that's happy, pretty much all the time.
He
To
is
see
what-
you a little bit down wasn't good for me. You know what I
I
mean?
appreciate that.
For real. It's hard to watch anybody struggle. It really is.
I think going back to you asked Will about Coop, like what Will's learning from Coop, and like Will, you're saying like basically Coop's calling shots before it even happens based on whether conditions or has setup or just you can just see it coming.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And Coop, you're so direct. I agree, but I
Understatement of the
appreciate that.
decade.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if a kid airmails a wedge, like that drives you bonkers. You know,
Right.
that's stupid.
Yeah.
And it is. You know, it's really nice as a golfer, I think sometimes that you guys spoke to comfort. Everybody wants comfort. You can get better at this game. It's gonna be uncomfortable.
It's going to be uncomfortable.
Don't let somebody dance around.
Why
the
did we
feelings.
just not let him do this
Airmailing
podcast?
a wedge is never not stupid. And
Right.
you just need to hear it.
Right.
It's crazy how much watching
Don't do
golf too like makes it seem easier in your brain.
Paying
From wa-
attention to others.
From
Yeah.
watching somebody play golf, how you're just like, I can't believe they just did that. And I did that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just another way that makes it simpler is watching somebody play and learning from the things that they do.
For sure.
Go ahead and repeat your fundamentals or your
Non-negotiable.
non-negotiables. Listen, did we tell you these tonight? What? Listen to these. You'll like.
Coming in here
Coop must
blind.
not have watched
Blind
the
and
YouTube
deaf. to
live
this.
last
Let me
night.
hear it. I was
You weren't listening
traveling.
live last
You
night?
were
traveling.
watching.
Yeah.
No, non-negotiables. You want to get better at this game. Ball needs to be in play. If you want the ball in play, it needs to be curving one way. The fairways are massive if the ball's going one direction. Fairways get small if they're going one way. From experience, know that. And then if you make everything inside 6 feet, The rest of the game's just getting progressively better. You just get
Easy.
progressively better at a 7-iron, progressively better at wedges, progressively better. You're gonna see your scores.
Targets
climb.
get bigger,
Yeah.
bigger.
Wayno?
Well, I couldn't agree more. I mean, you know, I used to spend when I tried to play golf. I mean, I used to spend hours and hours and hours from 6 feet and in. I mean, I knew I was never a real good driver of the ball, and never really figured out how to do that good enough. And I knew that if I was going to continue to get to compete and continue to get to play, that I was going to have to make a lot of putts. I knew that. I knew that was going to be something that could save me. So I spent hours and hours and hours and hours putting, and tried to be the best putter I could be, all the while I was trying to learn to hit my driver and play.
Right.
I wasn't as good at that as I needed to be, and unfortunately, I never did figure it out. Well, I never could drive as good as Tony, or some guys that
I couldn't.
Very few could.
That's right.
For real.
A legend.
For real.
But
Bullet.
he could always hit it straight, and I never could. So, I figured out what I had to do, and I kept trying to work, and I kept trying to learn, and I kept trying to play with the best players I could play with. I thought that was really important, and that was one thing that I think is really cool. I mean, the better players I played with, the more I learned how to shoot lower scores. I tried to shoot really low scores, and I wasn't. I tried. I wasn't scared of trying to do that. Some people, they get a little under par and they get
Wanna play safely or
protective
whatever.
and they get scared. I'm maybe not scared, but they get protective
Defensive, maybe, with the
of
guy.
their score. That's right. And I never did. When I got going, I really tried to go all the way. I tried to see how low I could shoot, and that was one good quality that I learned. But it was, when I did get going good, it was uncomfortable. It did. You get
felt
nervous
like
and
you
you
were
get
waiting on
excited,
something maybe bad to happen.
all the things that you saw things that maybe you didn't want to hit it there, or you didn't want to hit it here. Well, things get going real fast when you get to playing real good, and I learned that,
That's good.
and
Yeah.
that's
No,
something that I've tried to help students mine with. Hey,
It's
it
okay.
gets going fast out there, and you get excited, but that still doesn't mean you can't think about what you're doing and make good decisions. So, I've tried to help my players, learn that and learn those things that I've learned from other great players, that I've been fortunate enough to play with. So,
Very good.
Hack, we're gonna let you wrap this up, and then I'll wrap
Very
it
good.
up. But
No, it's to have a game plan. You have to practice with a purpose. You play games, have a buddy. Chipping, short game's the key because you're gonna not hit it well all the time, not hit it perfectly solid, but having a wedge game and be able to putt is basically the cornerstones of real low golf, or not making big numbers.
not making
Maybe not making doubles, turn them in the bogeys. I mean, it's key. Consistency's the ticket. Maintaining fundamentals. Oh, don't overlook the obvious sometimes, right?
I think the game plan is huge. Have a game plan and stick to
I mean, how many
Yeah.
times did I come into an event because things weren't going good and we moved the ball back,
Right.
and squared somebody up?
Yeah, I think a lot of players that become really good players forget about the basics, and that's grip, ball position, and posture. And generally, when a good player is not playing well, it's one of those. Caroline, for an instance, today not feeling her best. I said, "How's it going?" She goes, "It's awful. I can't hit my driver." I went, "What? Sure, you can hit your driver." Went up there, and the first thing I was looking for was her ball position. I thought it would be back. Well, it wasn't, and she just piped it. And I don't know what happened there, Caroline, but from that point on, she didn't hardly miss a shot.
It was you.
No, it was not me. I think maybe she was a little bit nervous.
It was. I drove up on that. Oh, it's probably us.
But Caroline, tell us what happened. Really and truly.
Back of Vance.
Come here and tell us what happened. Because it went from duck hooks to pure.
Have you had an epic Western?
She finished. Really? What was it?
Well, it's funny you say that because me and Ethan were talking about that.
It's Ethan and I.
Oh boy.
She told me not to do that. So I take it back.
But Ethan and I were talking about it, and he was saying how he gets nervous when you guys pull up. I said, I love it
Mhm.
because either I can absolutely strike this down the fairway, or they can see something that I don't, and they can help me figure it out. And I wasn't nervous, but I mean, like Coop said, I felt horrible at the beginning of the day. I really thought that I was
Not gonna make it
no,
through the day, really.
yeah. So going out there and just trying to hit the ball straight, I wasn't really trying to kill it, but just trying to hit it straight, help out my teammate. But
So in a sense, you were trying to guide the ball around early. It wasn't working.
no, I was really just me trying to find my sweet spot and my sweet tempo.
Mhm.
I'm a very big tempo person, and once my tempo gets out of whack, it's very hard for me to find
Right on.
it again. So, but eventually, like you said, I got
Once
my
we
tempo.
get you turned behind it, a
You
little more
should found that
structure,
tempo. It was good.
it'll
really
be
good.
easier.
I mean, really good.
We'll post
Impressive.
that on YouTube.
That was
later.
impressive.
Guys, girls, this was fun. Willie Mack ducking out over there. Wayno Hack. Thanks for everything.
Y'all
Thank
ready?
you,
Thank
Steve.
you, guys.
I'm gonna wrap it up. Caroline better be back there to turn this off. Luke, man, it's
Thank you,
great
Luke.
having you around. Doc, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna do some. We're gonna take some resumes for people that might replace you, but we'll probably
I
have you
don't.
back
No,
next time.
I mean, we are taking
I
resumes.
know.
Good luck.
I know a couple of those people that got those online certificates and now they coach and
Yeah,
stuff.
but-
I'm gonna hook you up. We're gonna help you. All right, we're signing off. We'll see you next week.
You guys have fun.